Hi everyone, welcome back to Penny Saves Paldea. We're going to try something different and jump straight to the story this time. Fail and summary so far videos will be in the description. Here we go. For all the times Penny has envisioned speaking to her friends in person, she never imagined it going like this. To start with, she's sweating like crazy, which fogs up her glasses. Reaching for them jostles her phone, and it flashes at her. Oh, why is changing accessories so difficult? She mutters, checking the screen where she's inadvertently opened the Pokedex app, the map app, and marked several locations she doesn't actually want to go to. A long sigh escapes her lips as she closes everything and turns the screen off. Ignoring a chaotic phone during a crisis is tantamount to cutting your finger off and expecting her to act okay with it. Thankfully, Ortega has the patience of a Gimmighoul coin hunter. He waits until she's cleaned her lenses and turned to face him in earnest. There's no playful teasing about her clumsiness like her family would do, just a grateful smile.
Nice to meet you, big boss.
Nice to meet you too, she says, her voice more confident than she expects. I'm their leader, aren't I? And I'm the one who thinks I can actually save Paldea from whatever's happening. I should act like it, even if I don't feel like it. And it's Penny.
Penny, then,
Ortega says, as he picks up his Pokeball staff from where he stashed it behind the desk.
Giacomo should be monitoring our, visitor from Cortondo Gym. Is it okay if he comes in to see you, too?
Penny rubs her forehead, feeling where her bike helmet's padding left a few marks.
Because that's fine if you don't want to. If you went through that much trouble to avoid talking face-to-face, it's obviously something you're uncomfortable with. Dragging the other Team Star bosses in here without even asking how you feel would be really rude. I mean, the absolute rudest.
No, it's okay. Honest, Penny tells him. Ortega gives a satisfied nod and walks outside the tent to find the Seekin Squad leader. It's almost sweet how protective he is of her. Then Penny remembers that there isn't a Seekin Squad anymore, thanks to Operation Starfall. Her chest tightens. Maybe I could stand to be a little more protective of my friends in return. Meanwhile, Juliana enters the gate without too much issue. Several of the grunts have their Pokeballs at the ready. But when she explains to them that she's with Jenny and Arvin, they back off and let her through. One of them helpfully points out Arvin's location. Not that he is difficult to find. The guy is stomping up the path already headed in her direction. Relief floods through her as she jogs forward. Arvin seems kind of flustered, probably from being left in the base without her all this time. Once they meet, she promptly pulls him away from the Team Star grunts to whisper up against the corner of a fence.
Glad I finally found you. Listen, I just got some important intel. I don't think Team Star is out to help you like they said.
Really? Arvin says with more than a hint of sarcasm. And did this intel come from that creepy guy in the grass?
He's not creepy. It's just the school director dressed as some student named Clive following us all over town and watching what we do.
Arvin does not need to reply to this. His deadpan expression says enough. Juliana tries to explain.
Look, it's important he stays undercover. He's pretty sure Team Star is behind all this weird stuff going on.
I see, Arvin replies. His tone softens to one less caustic and more, sad. And what do you think about them? It seems like a genuine question, which makes Juliana divert her gaze in debate. She's not used to people actually hearing her opinion and changing their actions based on what she says. Usually she nods and goes along with what people tell her just because they leave her little choice in the matter.
I mean, Clive did say they're bad, and he's pretty trustworthy, so they're probably bad, right?
She crosses her arms, tilts her head slightly, and taps her foot on the ground. She's seen Arvin do it a bunch of times, and it seems to help him think. Unfortunately, it fails to have the same enlightening effect on her.
Then again, I guess believing whatever he says without proof is just as bad as believing whatever Team Star says without proof.
Nah, they're bad, Arvin assures her. Stuck-up, irredeemable jerks we should not be talking to. Glad we're on the same page there, so let's go. He starts for the gate again, but Juliana grabs the end of his backpack and pulls, halting his progress. If Team Star really is the cause of all these problems, it's up to her and Arvin to stop them. Arvin gives the backpack a tug and loosens it from her grasp. If is a loaded word. They're lousy people, yeah, but I don't know if they're capable of something that major.
Not without a lot of adult help, which I always thought they were pretty strongly against.
How does he know so much about them? Juliana wonders. Even Clive doesn't have this level of info. Maybe Arvin is a former member who got out early? But if that's the case, he should have told her by now. The guy's already put the task of healing his Pokemon literally in her hands. If that isn't a no-holds-barred level of trust, what is? While Juliana stands in debate, the grunts have apparently gotten tired of watching them whisper in the corner. A group begins to approach, accompanied by 3 people dressed outside the normal school uniform. One of them looks like a DJ, wearing a slick black and white jacket and a hefty set of headphones. This has to be Giacomo, the boss she was supposed to fight back at the Segan Squad base. He carts around a laptop that he's showing to a red and blue-haired girl with gray patterned leggings, though the screen hides most of her face. The third person is shorter than the others and sports a pastel yellow and salmon tailcoat that complements his pristine pink hair. He also carries a golden staff and walks with the confident gait of someone who can afford to drag a gold-plated stick through the muddy grass.
Juliana, I assume?
He asks when he reaches her. She gives a cautious nod while Arvin crosses his arms and looks the other way.
Excellent. That makes things easier.
The pink-haired guy taps the ground with his staff. In a room with tiled flooring, it might make an authoritative clack. Out in the wet grass, it creates a much less impressive squelch.
My name is Ortega. I understand you escorted Arvin here. Maybe you can talk some sense into him.
I could have gotten here on my own just fine,
Arvin mutters. Ortega ignores him and continues with Juliana. The anomalies around Paldea are getting progressively worse. In fact, he's experienced some long-term effects himself. Team Star needs Arvin's help and Juliana's by proxy to pinpoint the cause and stop it. As Ortega explains himself, Giacomo closes his laptop, letting Juliana get a full view of the girl he's been showing it to. Juliana narrows her eyes at the newcomer.
Wait a second. Are you...
The sweatshirt and shiny Eevee backpack look like they belong to Jenny, but her face reminds Juliana of the shy girl from school. Never mind that their names are only 1 letter apart.
You're Penny.
Juliana does a facepalm, mostly to hide the scarlet flooding her cheeks. She can understand Director Clavel disguising himself so they can talk on the same level, but when fellow students hide who they are too, nothing feels sacred anymore. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and thanks again to Six Studios for the outro, and to Cabañas for the cover art. Six Studios also did the voice of Juliana, and Mad Hat did the voice of Ortega. Posted a little bit early this week for various reasons, but the next video will be on schedule on August 25th. Until then, happy reading and happy training!